They hide the truth in the shadows. It's time to light the way. This is the Fifth Estate.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to this latest episode of the Fifth Estate. I am your esteemed host, Mr. Roderick Threets, and I'm glad you could join us this evening. When the camera decides to turn itself on, I think we'll be just fine. But until then, we're not going to be fine. But everything is a-okay. It's all good in the hood with a big piece of wood, as I like to say. I hope y'all had a excellent weekend and all that good stuff. Hope it took care of your families. I hope y'all are excited for Thanksgiving. Forget this Christmas stuff you watching in your grocery stores. Any of that stuff, we ain't down with that. I know there's a lot of stuff going on. We gotta try to keep up with real quick. And as soon as everything does what it's supposed to do, we should be right fine. And we're gonna get into it. Remember, before we get started, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Please, greatly appreciate it. Um, I can't say it enough. We are at war, folks. We are at war. Not only with ourselves as the people, right? I gotta readjust the lighting here so it doesn't show me as a big piece of fog. But not only are we fighting amongst ourselves because of propaganda, we're also fighting against a overbloated federal government. We're also fighting enemies from within, and those enemies, we're not going to point out any sect of people per se. We're not going to say the liberal or the Democrat or the Republican. They're just statist people that love to suck the cock of the state and enrich the state, thinking they're stopping big corporations, right? We're stopping the big corporations need to stop. The corporations, oh my God. Oh, when they can't even stop the corporation that is creating and feeding off of the other corporations, the government, the federal government, that corporation, they can't fight that one. Look at me. Can't keep my glasses on my head. But appreciate y'all and all that good stuff for pulling in. This will be a kind of a short Monday. Mondays, I want to start making them a little bit shorter, though. There's a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot in an hour and a half. But I think I have the formula to streamline it to 30 minutes, and you get everything you need before you go to sleep at night. And we're gonna start trying that little by little, and narrowing that in. That way, we're not here all night, right? I do first things first, though. Y'all remember that Democrat congresswoman from New Jersey, um, Representative McIver. Y'all remember her? Remember the gal that Hold on, let me. Let me refresh your memory. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me refresh y'all's memories real quick, if it lets me. If it lets me refresh your memories, if it lets me. Okay, and here we are. Here we go. I should have had the video on deck, but this is fine too. We can do it in motion here because okay. I'm trying to find the actual video because all the algorithm has freaking. Oh, here it is. Here. So I see. I want to see if y'all remember this video. You just might. You just might. Y'all should be able to hear it. I hope. Here we go.
Jersey Congresswoman Monica McIver for the first time this afternoon after she was charged with assault and impeding law enforcement. The charges stem from a heated confrontation with ICE agents at a Newark detention facility earlier this month. Mayor Ras Baraka was also charged, but his charges have since been dropped. This morning, President Trump weighed in. Christina Fan reports from Delaney Hall.
New Jersey's top federal prosecutor says she decided to drop those federal trespassing charges against Newark's mayor for the sake of moving
forward. Hope you remember
forward in Newark.
There's
law enforcement of assaulting, impeding, and this month. In a statement, interim U.S. Attorney Alina Habba accused Congresswoman LaMonica McIver of assaulting, impeding, and interfering with law enforcement outside an immigration detention center in Newark.
She was shoving federal agents.
I know y'all remember that poor child, right? Well, y'all know she pleaded. She's pleading with the judge, like, you got to dismiss this because her statement, right? Her statement is she is protected under the Privileges and Immunities Clause in the United States Constitution. She specifically here's the irony. Right, here's the irony of that, right? She says that the speech and debate clause in the United States Constitution protects her while she's conducting oversight, which is part of her legislative duties. I'm sorry. If punching is speech, y'all help me out here, please. My head my head is yeah. But anyway, the federal judge on Thursday rejected her plea on this case. You just can't hit an officer of the law thinking you can get by with it. Then she this idiot responds, claiming that Trump is selectively vindictively prosecuting her for accusations. No, you assaulted an officer of the law. If one of us, we don't get protection. There's no special law that protects us from aggressing upon people, right? Or is that the black fatigue talking? Wait, y'all help me out. But anyway, District Judge Jamel Semper ruling enables McIver's prosecution to proceed closer to trial, denying her bid to immediately dismiss the criminal charges. She has pled not guilty. The defendant has failed to offer that they're saying is defendant, which is the United States, has failed to offer clear evidence that charges in this case had a discriminatory effect. I'm sorry, yeah, the representative. I'm sorry, my bad. God, I can't speak. Thus, her claims of selective enforcement and prosecution must fail, which is right. Right. And mind you, I hate when they say they're Biden judges or Obama judges or Trump judges. I makes my head spin. But I mean, I get it, but it makes my head spin. Judge made the right ruling. I don't care whose side it's on, right? If they make a good ruling, makes a ruling. Oh, so here's the part. Here's the part right here, right? Because you made an argument that she is immune under the Constitutional Speech and Debate Clause, which protects lawmakers for things they say or do as part of their legislative duties, activities. No, it does. It protects you when you're in the well of the House or the Senate. That's the only place the Speech and Debate Clause can protect you. That's it. That's the reason they wrote it. Not for you to go out here and be a thug. Right? What if that agent would have felt it in that moment and turned around and popped top one? Well, we won't be having the same conversation. Right? I mean, look, and you're right, Miss Val. These people have gone from they went from punch a Nazi to punch a cop, but to them it's the same person, right? You heard them call cops fascist scum, Nazi scum. I mean, so they just changed the letters, right? That's what they did. So it's okay to punch a Nazi, okay, aka punch a cop, and think you can nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. You assaulted those people. Yo ass, you about to lose your job. You about to lose your job. Get this dance, yo. You about to lose your job. Because as soon as she is convicted, the House has no choice but to expel her. They have no choice but to expel her. That she's cooked. But again, here's my raw take. Here's my raw take and commentary, right? I'm going to go there. I'm going to go right there. Y'all know where I'm going. When I get in this tone, you know where I'm going. Why is it always the black women in Congress acting a damn fool? Some people ain't going to like me saying that, but I'm just calling a spade for what it is. Why do these black women in Congress think they get in Congress, they can just be and do and say whatever they want? All out here, wild like outside. Not understanding how stupid they look. And you hear these liberal white women support black women. Not like that. Oh no, support who? Acting like what? I have an honest question, audience. I have an honest question. Is it me, or do these so-called white liberal women are living vicariously through black women? Y'all can answer that in the comments. Y'all can answer that in the comments. So, actually, this started happening today. I gotta bring this up today in Charlotte. You guys in North Carolina, they started the Border Patrol invasion, baby. They done pulled up. They've made 81 arrests. They say that's a record for one day for Border Patrol. 81. That's crazy. I wonder what the protests were then. I wonder where the protest was then. And this is from what is it? WIS 10. That's actually reporting this. But it's WBTV. Dozens of people were interested by it. Oh my God, I can't read. Arrested by federal agents during the first weekend of Border Patrol's Charlotte's Web. How appropriate. They didn't just go there. They said Charlotte's Web. Wow. Those y'all read the book, you know the pun. You know the pun. And it's like it's all the pun that it is. Oh my God. Charlotte to have operation in North Carolina, according to a top-ranking official. Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino, the guy they tried to sue. Yeah, that guy. Yeah. Said that on Saturday, November 15th, the first day arrests were seen, 81 people were arrested in the Charlotte area. He said it was a record day. So, I mean, good. According to Homeland Security, here it is. Homeland Security, 130 people had been arrested across both weekend days. Good for you guys. And look, they had to throw that in there, right? At last comment, local agencies, including the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department and Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office, said they had not been asked to participate in any immigration operations. Good. Don't ask them. Let them do their job. Right? Let them do their job and get these people up out of here. But anyway, again, I hope y'all liking and subscribing and all that good stuff, sharing all that good stuff. I greatly appreciate y'all. So I'm gonna run through a couple things here real quick, and we will be up out of here, because that's how we how we do. So we're gonna run off over to the Supreme Court real quick here. The Trump administration, obviously, for obvious reasons, withdrew their emergency request, asking the Supreme Court to halt a lower court's decision requiring full SNAP benefits, because obviously the government opened, right, and all that stuff, right. So now, if it's a moot point to fight that, right. With that, but I will say personally, right, and I read the report from the Solicitor General, and I agree that the fact that this actually raises this actually raises separation of powers questions, right, and about courts reallocating funds during a shutdown. I mean, I thought Congress held the purse and the executive branch distributed accordingly. I'm just putting that out there, right, for people just to think about, right, because we talked about the left wanting Donald Trump to be this amazing king after they just protested no king, right? No kings, oh, no kings. And I'm drinking a polar seltzer. It's good water, blackberry and mango. But the courts wanted to make the executive a monarch during the shutdown. Like that just baffles me. But anyway, I digress. Over in Congress, right? When we're dealing with foreign policy with these cats again, right? And there is there was some money that they're saying is going to go to some foreign entities out of this CR. Yeah, I said it. Don't know what form that looks like. I don't know how we'll get to the nitty gritty, because they're still doing things to the bill anyway. You know how they do. But again, right, it took 8 Democrats to break with the party line bullshit to open the government, right? And remember, this deal that's on the table right now that they're still playing with excludes the extension on ACA, right? And then remember, still they said there's going to be a December vote on ACA subsidies, right? So we'll see we'll see how that goes. Now, as these federal agencies reopen, right? It's just we have to understand they're not going to be at, even today, they're not going to be at 100%. So there's still flights being canceled. If you're traveling, flights are being canceled, flights are being delayed, almost at the same level as it was on Sunday. Sunday past, I think, was the biggest of them, right? Sunday past, Sunday before, yeah. So as we come out of that, I hope the executive branch did some slim trimming to the government, even though some of them were supposed to be like hired back. This is just so crazy to me. This is so crazy to me, right? But I want to go back and I want to talk about this SNAP thing, right? Because this is what's very disturbing, and I want people to understand this, even if you don't. You could be a bleeding heart liberal and want to make sure people want to eat and all that stuff, right? But I mean, we got processes in place. We have a constitution in place, right? And we have to make sure we follow that, no matter how uncomfortable it may be, or how it goes against your ideological belief, right? That piece of paper cannot be warped, right? It should never be warped, right? So keep in mind, a lower court, right? An Article 1 court ordered full payments, okay? Because they said reducing them, and this is in the opinion, right, would cause immediate and irreparable harm to beneficiaries. We had this discussion last week, right? Get your ass out there and humble yourself and, go sweep someone's garage for $10, $20. You need food that bad, right? I'm not going through that. I'm not going to go on a diatribe with that, right? But the administration, and this is something I didn't catch initially, right, when it happened, that the Trump administration had already told the Supreme Court that allowing judges, okay, to dictate spending during a shutdown, right, would undermine executive discretion, which it would, right, and disrupt any negotiating leverage that they would have with getting that out there, right? I mean, I want people to understand the precedent that is set here, right? Because even though not funding SNAP benefits is not an emergency, but the courts have deemed it an emergency, right? The courts deemed it as an emergency, aka legislating what isn't an emergency from the bench, and Congress did nothing. They could have passed a resolution and said, "Judge, shut the fuck up," but they didn't. They didn't say a word, did they? They let the court decide what is and what isn't an emergency. So now going forward, right? It's almost as if the court is doing the work of Article 1, right? And every time there's an emergency, the Article 1 court's going to step in. No, that's an emergency. You have to fund it or defund it. Even though, I swear, some people really, really, really hate our Constitution. I mean, yes, it makes my temples swell, because this is a very rare moment where political resolution mooted by a legal shutdown, right, that could have reshaped that separation of powers. But Congress let it ride. Supreme Court let it ride. Right? But here's what's even crazier, right? This bill only funds the government through January 30th. So watch what I tell you. There will be no vote for ACA subsidies in December. It's going to be in January. Watch. Watch what I tell you. It's going to be part of the next continuing CR. I'm telling y'all, our federal government is a mess. I know we've known for years they don't know which side is up. I don't know if they know what side to side either at this point, people. I really don't. I don't know. Anyway, listen. We came right on time, right on like clockwork. Listen, I appreciate y'all. Remember, tune in tomorrow. Experience Today, me and Ms. Val, as we do the things. Again, I don't know what I'm going to talk about until Ms. Val tells me what we're talking about. She's like, Rod, this is what we're talking about. I'm like, okay, that's what we're doing. She bullies me. She jacks me up on the wall and bullies me. She's like, this is what we're talking about, Rod. I'm like, okay. That's what we do. But anyway, hey, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. All that good stuff. And remember, guys, you are loved by someone or something. Just make sure you reciprocate. Make sure you reciprocate. Too many of us are getting. No, I'm saying again, forgetting. Right, we're forgetting why we exist in this world. Right, a lot of us aren't waking up. Next day, we're at that point. A lot of people we know. So if you have any ill will or any bad sentiment, make sure, even if it's for a minute or two, and apologize, talk, whatever you need to do. Time's getting short, y'all. Just keep that in mind. Until next time, y'all, love your neighbors, love yourself, but ultimately, I mean, love your family, but ultimately love yourself. Love yourself. Peace and love, everybody.